Hello! If you are new here, my name is Brennan Lee, and what we are about to see is the before of my front yard. This entire series is about me ripping out this, what you're seeing here, and creating a brand new front yard full of wildflowers and herbs, and not 3 different to 20 different types of grass, weeds, and boulders the size of Texas that we cannot mow over. So every time we went to mow the front yard, we would break our lawnmower. The blades would hit a rock. We would throw something at the house. It was just insane. So the yard had not been, like the bushes had not really been upkept for a very long time. Hiding behind that bush is about a 40-year-old peony, which I do separate and put into the front yard. That was super exciting, and I got to learn a whole bunch of stuff. They did not bloom that great this year, but I separated them. So that's how that goes. This is our sidewalk that I have been trying to find for 4 years, y'all. I've been trying to find it for 4 years. Think about that. I have dug and dug and dug. I know our sidewalk is larger than that. These are our hollyhocks and our marshmallow root. I do go through in, I believe, the last video, taking all of that out, separating out the hollyhocks and the marshmallow to get it processed. This area was also in one of the previous videos where I pulled out all of the brick and the weeds and the fabric, all the fun stuff. I believe also in a previous video we have me pulling out all of these bulbs. I believe I got between 80 to 100 bulbs out of this area between what the previous owners planted and what I had planted. And I have to tell you, those lilies that are showing in this clip are stunning, and there were a ton of them, which I didn't know until this year. So they are now all throughout the front yard and just little glows of color all over the place. When we're moving up to the porch, I've also gotten this cleaned up in a previous video. It has been completely power washed and sanitized. At this point, it has now been decorated and we can safely get up there. Those planters have been replanted. All of that grime is now gone. And we also cleaned up this area. We are going to ignore the passageway to the right. That will be its own series because that is the bane of my existence. And here is our view from on the porch. I know, a little bit boring right now. Stick around, we're about to rip it all out. In all transparency, I did not want to get in Greg's way when he was doing all of this work. There's a lot of heavy equipment, and I am very short and probably cannot be seen through the equipment. Right here, he has started out in the very front of the front yard, gotten that leveled out, and he is going through and trying to get all of the massive rocks out, which we will be able to see here in a minute. That man dug up so many rocks. I don't even know where he put them. I am scared to find out where they went. I don't know if they went to his house or went somewhere else on the property. I am not sure. But they are no longer in the front yard, which makes mine and my husband's life much simpler. We have also now can see the edge of the sidewalk where a massive boulder was actually blocking part of it, and we tripped over it constantly. I'm so happy all that is gone. I know right now it looks a little crazy, but still, I'm not a huge grass fan. I'm just not. Oh, this part's about to be fun. We find stuff we didn't know existed, and it's about to be ripped up. There are some rocks. They look a lot smaller than they really are. And that. Yeah, I didn't even know that existed, yo. No idea. So this is, once Greg is done, we were not able to get rid of the tree root because it's just everywhere, and we couldn't do it without damaging the concrete in the house and the plumbing and all the things. But look how level our front yard is. It's level. We won't die. It's awesome. We do have a very small grate in the front for helping the drainage, but this is fabulous. Now, the only bad part of this is where he had all the trucks and the equipment was super compact, and it was not the best thing in the world to dig in. However, we got through it, and that is where I used my auger drill bit to do awesome things. All right, we also got rid of all the bushes that just went insane. I did save the 40-year-old peony, which we'll be planting in the front yard. And look, I have a sidewalk. It's the whole sidewalk. I have the whole freaking sidewalk, y'all. We can walk down it. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world. I have not cleaned it yet, but it exists, and there are no rocks to trip us. And actually, when you come to the porch, it actually V's out, and it's really cool. I just have to find it first, which here soon I will be doing. All right, and next we have I split out the hollyhocks and the peonies, and I put them in, and yes, they looked super, super sad. This was at the end of summer last year. So the end of the summer of 2024 going into the fall, yes, they do look super sad. I'm not going to lie, I was terrified. However, they do start to perk up once it cools down and they get crazy hydrated.
Behind me is where all of the bulbs used to be, so I know the ground is much softer there, even after being ran over with a tractor multiple times. So I'm gonna dig it here, and it'll be fine with the sunlight. So that's what we're going with because it's an easier hole to dig. All my other hydrangeas are separated, so that won't be as difficult. But since I couldn't get this one separated and the roots are so huge, I need a softer spot to dig in because I am not strong enough to get through the compacted dirt. So there's that. This is super simple because it has previously been planted. I literally dug up these bulbs a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I'll find some more. Well, just more rock. See how soft that is? And when I'm bending down to check, I'm honestly just checking to make sure I'm not going to hit any wires in case the markings are wrong. That what I'm hitting and snapping are old roots, which is, yes, what I am hitting right now. So that's good. And she's going to look fairly sad for a while because she has been through a lot of trauma and she will need to heal from that trauma. But by spring, she should be super happy. If I let her go, does she stay? All right. So the little wormy's back. get soaked in so I can make sure it's actually draining into the soil. And then I will probably water it a couple of times throughout the day today up until tonight, and then water it one last time and let that soak in overnight. But it will be in shade the majority of the day. So that should soak in and get to the roots. This does a little leaky thing, so I'm just going to set it right there until I get it turned off. And let it keep watering this bad boy. Girl, whatever. Right there, so it just is like a drip irrigation. We're going to go dig a lot more freaking holes. All right, for this round, my neighbor's driving by, going to church, looking at me like I'm bloody crazy, talking to myself. We're going to outline this area of the front yard with the hydrangeas. I don't know if it's in the shop, but I have an old chicken coop right here, which I'm going to try to coax the doves and pigeons into and get them out of my freaking garage. Also, not only do I have my cobalt shovel, which I love, but an auger tool. If you are planting a lot of things, this may become your best friend. This is like a $12 or $15 auger tool that you attach into your drill. And this is my outside drill. And it lives with this auger guy on it. Because there's a lot of clay where I live in 6B. Basically, that's all we got. We got clay. So this is going to help me, especially with something like this where it's not super deep, but it's long, like that direction. And I need to get that into the ground. And yeah, we're going to try with the shovel first because it'll probably be quicker. But if the ground is too hard, I'm going to have to use the auger. That seems a little soft. I also don't want to fall on my face because I already fell and I hurt myself and it wasn't fun. And the auger helps when you're not a super big human being. Because like my weight's just not quite enough to get through some of this. Especially if I hit a root. I'm going to get myself killed. Ha! This is why I like these square tip shovels. And if you keep them sharp, you get through just about anything. If I cut off the power, I apologize to my neighborhood. But I should be clear of the line. At least according to the flags, I'm clear of the line. Let's see what I just hit. I'm assuming it's a root. Yep, those are roots. And yes, I am piling it up around because I know when I water it, it's going to sink. And this area will get self-mulched, which is great. Because the big honking tree behind me will shed everywhere. Which will blow over basically the entire front yard and fertilize it for me. And then we just keep the sidewalk cleared off. So nobody slips and falls. And that's, I don't know what root that is. But that is not the root that I want. right, and I'm going to continue to do that for a lot more area. So I'll see you in a few. So I really, little windy. I really wanted to get the grass seed. I'm not planting grass seed, dude. I really wanted to get the wildflower mix planted today, but it's a little windy for seeds, especially when you're just broadcasting them. They will just blow into the road and into the field where I don't want them. So I think we're going to have to change the plan because it's windy enough that I have to hold the camera. Because we're just shaking all over the place. But we did get the hydrangeas in, and I need to plant one more peony. So, yep. And I think that is it for out here today because it's too windy to do the rest of the things. So those will not get done today. I'll have to wait for a day for it not to be super windy. And I live in a flat area that gets a lot of wind. So this should be entertaining. But my husband should be happy because it means he doesn't have to teach me how to till today. So there's that.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to come hang out with me. I can't wait to show you the final reveal on this yard, hopefully coming up in the next few weeks. Thank you again. Bye.